A Puzzletale. For years, really since playing PostCurious's excellent debut, The Tale of Ord, I've been looking for the right term to call the tabletop narrative puzzle mystery genre. Crypto games? Puzzle boxes? Collaborative mystery adventures? Terms fell short in their inability to capture the scope and experience of playing these games until I saw it on the box for PostCurious's upcoming title, The Light and the Mist, a tarot puzzle tale, which perfectly encapsulates this specific game, but serves as a fitting title for the genre. And like the term itself, codifying a sort of nebulous expanse of games, The Light and the Mist feels like an evolution, a step forward, pushing the boundaries of the genre while simultaneously delivering more intuitive gameplay and a more cohesive story than any of its ilk I've played in the past. A small box. The premise is simple. You and your partners at the table are searching for your friend Sam, who has gone missing deep within some mysterious woods. Equipped with her backpack in the form of a logbook, a deck of tarot cards that were her prized possessions, and the game's booklet that serves as instruction manual, narrative prompts, guide, and reference, you embark on a journey to overcome 22 multi-layered and dramatically distinct puzzles unfolding through your tarot cards. Here's how it works. The bulk of the cards in your deck are your minor arcana, the clues used to solve whatever puzzle you're working on. Divided into 4 suits of 14 cards each card has one or more indicators on top linking it to one or more of the distinct puzzles, which are your 22 major arcana cards. So, when you move to a new major arcana, you gather the associated cards, read the story prompt, which cryptically hints at its narrative and mechanical portent, then try to divine one or more words that, if correct, will match up with the solution index in the back of the book, leading you to a resulting story beat and the completion of this puzzle. And as described by the story, apart from the first and final puzzles, you can choose the order to resolve the major arcana, giving an open, sandboxy feel to the game. You could ascend in numerical order, or use the illustrations or number of associated cards to try to select scale of puzzles you're in the mood for. Got stuck on the devil? Stop and move on to the magician or hermit. Give yourself some space to think. Or, like my wife and I, take turns to select which puzzle you move on to next. Key to this freeform flexibility is that each solution is independent of the other puzzles, though by nature of the multi-use cards, knowing what aspects of the cards have been used in other major arcana will inform you in what information is important for the challenge at hand and what can likely be dismissed. Which is honestly something I worried about. Having played many games in this genre now, I'm of two minds on how puzzle tales should be structured. On the one hand, flexibility means you're less likely to get hung up on singular obstacles grinding any momentum to a halt, but that very independence can make a game seem overly mechanical and lose the rich, layered feel that makes for a cohesive experience. But as I played the game, my fears were put to rest. Non-linear as it is, the meticulously crafted puzzles, brilliant artwork, and the deeply emotional storytelling provide a through line, weaving a surprisingly holistic experience out of what could have just been disparate parts. Let me make something clear. I'm no puzzle master. I like these games, and in some cases love them, but my wife and I often have to use a heaping helping of hints to make it through any adventure. And while the progressive hint system that PostCurious has used in the past is still available, we found the puzzles were remarkably more intuitive than we've faced in the past. Hard? Yes. Mind-numbing at times? Totally. But ultimately, by combination of the visual presentation and how they're designed, and perhaps a bit more experience on our part, the Light and the Mist puzzles felt more logical. Revelations came from hard work and determination, not through luck or obscure knowledge. There's no need to search Wikipedia, no desperate recollection of 10th grade geography lessons. The Light and the Mist is self-contained. Everything you need is in the box and your brain, and perhaps a notepad. The reined-in experience that does away with the typical expectation of having a laptop on hand for field research focuses the project, letting you grow accustomed to where the puzzles begin and end, encouraging you to engage with it on its own merits. And when you have a breakthrough, it feels earned, which is very, very cool. And speaking of which, the variety in puzzles is bonkers. I fully expected that the card-based medium would lead to less puzzle diversity, but designer Rita Orlov made a fool of my assumptions once again. Symbols, colors, cartography, shapes, perspectives, riddles, ciphers, poetry, the immense variety of puzzles and their thematic relationship to the story is pretty incredible. Some came together quick, allowing us to do several in a session. Others took up a bulk of a night. Some my wife was utterly stumped at, relying on my natural love of numerical equivalencies. Others, she saw things instantly that would have taken me ages to work out. And while the edges of the puzzles could have been filed down to be less reliant on people's individual strengths, the result would have been less memorable. As is, the variety and complexity encourages collaboration and testing one's own limits. And of course, if you reach the point of frustration, the hint system carefully nudges you step by step until you get your bearings and can take the rest from there. Clearly, we loved this game, and being a game reviewer, it's much more natural for me to talk about cold hard mechanics, the act of playing, the overall design, but for as good of a Puzzletale as it is, I cannot overstate how much the visual and narrative presentation fleshes out the experience. Sam's tale is bittersweet, so much more personal and affecting than the pulpish bombacity I've come to expect from this genre. It's sparsely told and manages a coherence that defies the free-form structure of the design, and the story reverberates through the cards themselves. The subtle mastery of Jack Fallows' illustrations is revealed as you play the game, managing to feel authentic to the tarot motif and Sam's story while cleverly embedding layers of information from obvious to elusive, but rarely obtuse. The Light in the Mist feels like an important next step both for PostCurious and the overall genre, ambitious and expansive while so much more approachable and reined in than its predecessors. The game was a delight. For as fond as I am for the time that I had with the Tale of Ord and the Emerald Flame, this game shows that stripping away the frills and gimmicks only serve to inspire the creativity of the authors. If you like beautiful games, clever puzzles, and enjoy a well-crafted story of bittersweet melancholy, I highly recommend The Light in the Mist. If you enjoyed this video, we have all kinds of other reviews, interviews, and recommendations via writing, podcast, and video here on our channel and website cardboardherald.com. Our content is audience supported, so if you want to show your support, please visit our Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. This has been the Cardboard Herald.